that's what really helped me get really good, like just talking to everyone I could on campus. And my friends would get embarrassed too when we would go out, because instead of like trying to pick up chicks, I would just try and read their charts, and I would just try and give them readings. And my friends were like, yo, like, wait till you take her out on a date, and then you can ask her for her chart. But I'm like, I don't care. I want to know. Like, it is what it is. Like, but it was really awesome, because around that time as well, I had also met, through my younger sister, someone who was more into Santeria, because
Mhm.
I had told my sister, I was like, I feel lost, like I don't know what to do. And she said I could introduce you to someone. And that was the first ever tarot reading I ever had. And he
Mhm.
read me so specific, I couldn't believe it. And this was everything, especially my mom said you shouldn't do. Like, her grandfather was a witch doctor or in these arts where they kind of get these crafts, and we were taught that it's of the devil, supposed to do all this. And he, ironically, was an Aquarius, and he played a very instrumental role in transitioning me out of that old faith into opening up to this world where he sacrifices chickens to like help people, and he does real house cleanings, stuff that I was skeptical about but is real. The lesson that we all had to learn is I had to lie to my mom to just hang out to him. He lived near us, he lied to her too, and said that he was a mentor, but he wasn't specific about what he was mentoring us about.
Mhm.
So over time, you learn that lesson of, in coming into this path, he did teach me a lot. And that's when I learned that as an Aqua ninth house, like even if certain ninth house influences may at some point try and finesse you, they still teach you the lesson you were. Because I realized over time, it's possible he may have just wanted me for money. Like, he did see me as a protege. He did really hook me up, but I was also a source of money for him after they moved, and like it turned more into that, and I walked away from that because also, coming to a head of having to lie to my mom, who she found out at some point, which I think was a sign, and helped me at the time kind of walk away from that and just focus more on astrology, because I was like, should I do this tradition or should I just do astrology? And he at the time was like, screw astrology. Astrology is bullshit. You guys need to wait on transits. Like, he knew it works, but he was like, you have to wait on transits. We can just call on the Orisha. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing because it made me believe in astrology more. I was like, oh my God, you're acting like your archetype, like this. I'm seeing it through. So I was just thankfully it helped me reinforce a lot. But when I cut ways with him the year after he taught me a lot, like I do believe I was meant to learn a lot from him. He taught me how to read tarot, but I perfected it myself. Like, when he taught me, I sucked. My Cancer sister picked it up instantly, but I was so in my head. But after, when I started to teach myself and practice, I picked it up, naturally, thankfully. But that was really coming into 2012, after I separated from him and started to move forward with my channel. That's when I moved forward with this light work. And I
Mhm.
didn't realize at the time he initiated me into a craft that was more for dark arts. And
Mhm.
I didn't realize at the time, because most people, like drug dealers, will get initiated in this. So it protects them from the stuff they have to do. And I didn't realize at the time that what I was setting out to do would put me in face of all sorts of psychic attacks. So it's like, coming into this Palo initiation protected me from those dark forces. Because even though there's a path to continue that, I never got to continue that path and learn anything extra about it, because the people who put me on, I couldn't trust. Like, they were in a different country. In Puerto Rico, there's a language barrier. And then another priest was saying that they're trying to finesse you. So I put that down for years. And
Mhm.
now it's coming back up that I've kind of cleared that. But, I realized that's a part of my past life. And my North Node is in Aquarius, to focus more on the stars, focus more on astrology. So moving forward, 2012 was how I really started. And then how I created the Peace Dealer as a channel is a whole nother story that also involves my Aquarian uncle. It's even crazier, but without making this like a 2-hour story, I'll just say that's what really got me into astrology, getting my natal chart read and realizing this is way better than Myers-Briggs. This is what I was looking for, that I felt was missing in Myers-Briggs. And every day I just learn so much more. And it's been so rewarding. It's been so rewarding. Very grateful.
Yeah. Wow, that's exciting. Such an interesting journey with the Santeria stuff. And I'm curious to know how your family feels about you being astrologer. Like, has your mom embraced it? Is there a conflict between your path and
Yeah.
Christianity?
No, it's such a good question. So she's never embraced it. We have Bible study every week. And so, like, thankfully, she's aware of what I do. The one thing she'll say is she's never seen me stick to something in my life.
Mm,
Like, she's usually seen when things get hard, I'll just kind of give up on it or move on to the next. So this is the first thing she's ever seen me like stick with and make successful. So as far as like the business practice of it and what I'm doing, she'll support it as far as like not necessarily demonize me, right? But she's been very clear that she doesn't agree with the astrology I do. She doesn't like that I do it. I've been slowly but surely, like recently, I might have broken through a little bit. I broke down how Genesis 1:15 literally says that God created astrology and astrology is good. And that, a lot of Bible verses against astrology are just misunderstanding, misquoted, miscommunicative, out of context verses, because the people who are against astrology, they're not astrologers, they don't know how it works, they think it's more fortune telling, but astrology is just the sun is in this sign, the moon is in this sign. And Genesis 1:14 says, I have made the sun and the stars for signs that you can see. That's astrology.
mhm,
And I said it was good. So, but she really personally has been open about that, especially as a Nigerian immigrant. Like, they don't play that there either. Like, you're either Christian, you're either Muslim, or you're an engineer or a doctor. So like, it's not necessarily something my parents would be proud to tell the community I'm into. So I'm kind of being used to being the black sheep. I feel like it's my role though. I've embraced it. My mom doesn't hate on me for what I do, thankfully.
mhm.
And she's definitely been able to acknowledge that, but the approach she takes is maybe one day I'll just come out of that and go into what I'm meant to do, but I feel like this is what I'm meant to do, so that is what it is.